Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Bridget.
And I'm Wendy.
And this is
Flickin' Beans.
Thank you for the coffee
You're
and
welcome.
the whipped cream
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
You're my whipped cream on top, Wendy.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. And you're my dark coffee underneath. Just
Have you been feeling discombobulated?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the weather?
I think so. It's been weird.
I feel weird. There was all kinds of like loose, random blinkers on on the highway. Everybody's in a fog.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it's related at all, but I got really sick earlier this week. I couldn't really figure out what it was. I couldn't stand up without feeling nauseous, you know? Maybe it was the moon.
I think I had something similar a couple of weeks ago, and it basically lasted about a day.
Mm-hmm.
It was the strangest thing because I was really sick.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the next day, I started to feel bad at the end of Monday and then all Tuesday. By Wednesday, I felt fine. Perfect.
Huh.
I slept a bunch and I felt like a new person.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So this week's movie was Juno, which is such a great movie in so many ways. I feel like seeing it again with fresh eyes. I have new opinions.
Same.
And it's weird, isn't it? How that happens?
Yeah.
Maybe is it just the idea that we're going to discuss it, so we're literally trying to dissect it a little bit?
Yeah. I watched the movies that we're going to talk about in a different way than I more actively, for one thing, because lots of times I'm doing something else when I'm watching TV or movies through a different lens because we're talking about it. And then, yeah, it is weird when you go back and watch a movie from your youth or from 20 years ago and you don't remember it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, it's just your perspective has changed and the whole world's changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially now, I think it's super relevant that we're talking about this, especially because, Elliot Page is the actor that played Juno.
Yes.
That's a hell of a story. But also, it's interesting, just you kind of see it.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, Elliot Page is a trans man that used to act under the name Ellen Page. And when they did Juno, they were still going by Ellen. And my brother has a joke about this in his set. He considers himself bi because when I was growing up in Iowa in the 90s, pansexual hadn't made it here yet or something like that. And I feel like we weren't hearing about trans people as much at the time that this came out, which is like 2000, right?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s. So it wasn't they weren't as visible. I mean, we all knew they existed, but now it's trans people are much more visible and it's more of a political topic now.
Well, knowing what we know now and looking back, one of the reasons I think that Juno captivated me, because here's this little adorable girl who is not girly. She's different, unique, and she doesn't seem to have any self-consciousness. And that shows, especially as she starts to, develop the relationship with Jason Bateman. So the movie is opening with basically she's drinking a gallon of Sunny D and going into the store for her third pregnancy test. And her demeanor is very, very denial.
Yes.
Yeah, until after.
I was so surprised or impressed with the fact that she was just like telling the clerk at the gas station, give me another pregnancy test and taking it there and being so open about it.
Yeah.
I could never. When I was 16, if I thought I would be like hiding in a hole, maybe my best friend would be there so or whatever. But
she has no filter because she has no self-consciousness.
No, she doesn't get it. She takes it right in front of him. She's like, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm still pregnant.
That's a lot like me, I think. TMI.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that about you, though, because I'm kind of that way, too.
I just call it being irreverent.
Sure,
Whatever.
I mean, I love how honest you are.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's even like to a fault. Like you're not afraid to say whatever you're feeling. And I appreciate that about you.
Okay.
Even if, that can get you in trouble too.
It does a lot. It does a lot. You've known me long enough.
That's right.
To know that my mouth does get me in trouble. It's not my fault. It's the ADD.
Right.
Okay. As soon as she sees that unholy pink plus sign,
Yeah.
her demeanor changes. You can see it. Her best friend is the first one that she tells on her hamburger phone.
Right. I love that.
I wanted a hamburger phone.
Yeah.
Just like the clear phone.
Yes. With all the
and-
neon parts inside.
Yes.
Yes.
And Bob's Burgers, they have a hamburger phone.
They do.
I've never seen them have to shake it to get better reception, though. Sorry, I'm on my hamburger phone. The fact that she's so able to talk openly with all these adults compared with the fact that she is just a 16-year-old with a hamburger phone.
Yeah.
You know, she's treads that line between, are you a girl or are you a woman? And she's definitely a girl, but she's just precocious. But I think that's super important.
Yeah, it really underscores how confusing that time is for everybody. Having a body that's an adult, but your mind hasn't caught up yet. And now they say that your brain doesn't fully form till you're like 25. So your prefrontal cortex, the one that makes decisions, not fully done growing till you're 25.
Huh.
Yeah, don't get married before that. It works out for some people, but I feel like that should be like a rule.
Feel like that's when Elliot came out. He was about that age.
Yeah.
And then he transitioned at age 30. So that tracks.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. I know I was definitely not done developing at that point.
I'm still
I
not.
still don't think I'm still growing. Can we talk about why she decides not to have the abortion? It's kind of a funny thing that gets to her.
There is more to that too.
Okay.
But yes.
She's going to the clinic to have an abortion and she runs into a classmate there who's protesting. She tells her all these things that her fetus has, and fingernails, for whatever reason, resonates with Juno. And she's like, fingernails? Ooh. And then she just couldn't do it after that.
Right. The writer was saying in retrospect that she wished that she had made things a lot more clear about why Juno didn't want to have the abortion.
Okay, yeah.
Got some kind of backlash, like, you know, is this a anti-choice movie? Is it and none of that was intended. It was simply she didn't want to. And that's a good enough reason.
Absolutely.
And I get that. And I also think it's important that it's shown that it's not an easy decision.
No.
No.
Absolutely not. Nobody goes into that with casualness. Anybody that decides to have one or not have one, they agonized over it for sure. There's no way that you don't. And that's a whole other topic, but people try to make it seem like it's just like another form of birth control
No, that's, yeah.
And while technically true, I guess, but it's not, people aren't using it that way. And something like 1 in 3 women have had one, something like that. It's a lot.
Really?
Yeah, maybe it's 1 in 5, but it's a lot of women that have had one. And so there's a lot of people out there not talking about it. I'm spewing facts like I know, but it is a high number though. Something like that.
Yeah. She also had an affair with her co-star during the movie.
Elliot did?
Yes.
Which co-star?
Olivia Thirlby.
Is that the best friend?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, and they both came out
Oh.
as gay after this.
Oh, that's cute. They had good chemistry. I was hoping you didn't say Jason Bateman because I don't like seeing Jason Bateman in this role because I like him and he's so kind of creepy in this.
He's always got that creepiness.
A little, but not like pedophilia.
Well, okay. Yes, we have to delve into that. So she finds this adoptive couple, which is Jason Bateman and Jennifer Garner. As soon as you meet them, you're like, okay. Yeah. She is so tense and he is too loose. And you can tell he's got one foot out the door.
Yeah.
But the thing I was getting at earlier about Juno not having she doesn't have this awareness of her own sexuality. She doesn't know. It's like that Police song, Don't Stand So Close to Me.
Yeah.
Until her stepmom says right out loud, he's a married man. And that's not appropriate.
Yeah.
And you don't know anything about that sort of relationship. what are you doing? Because basically she thinks he's cool.
Yeah.
And he wants to relive his youth. This little injection of a young, cute girl into their world who doesn't belong there, it's just making everything worse.
Yeah.
Or making his supposed plan seem like the right thing to do.
Yeah. He was already planning it. Juno helped him push him along. He thinks he can still be a rock star, essentially. And you're like, you're middle-aged, man.
And you write jingles.
Right. That's fine. That's a cool job, man.
And, you know, it paid for this kitchen, you know.
Yeah, I get it, you know, as a musician, and we all probably had some delusion at some point that we were going to be huge rock stars. And so at some point you have to be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Or you have to decide to go for it, but you should do that before you're 45.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. It's just like high school football. Everybody thinks they could have made something, you know, out of their garage band or, and something about having a child, just people think it's just going to put the brakes on your entire life.
Which it does. It's way harder to accomplish things when you have to take care of a tiny human 24/7. So I get that. Because that's why I didn't have one.
Yeah, right.
Not because I wanted to become a rock star, but because I just felt like I couldn't do all the things I want to do if I also have this child to take care of.
Right. One of my favorite parts is when she has to tell her parents that she's pregnant and sits them down and they say afterwards, like, did you see that coming? And the stepmom, Bryn, she's like, well, yeah, but I was hoping it was hard drugs. They're getting expelled. I thought, gosh, is this anything like coming out to your parents?
Yeah.
It would be that difficult.
Which is worse? I think being pregnant's worse. Depends on your parents.
Yeah. I mean,
some parents won't care and that much, really.
She had a good set.
Yeah.
And especially, well, first thing we need to do is get you healthy.
Right. Yeah. I really loved Bren in this. She's a stepmom. They have kind of a strained relationship, but she steps up for Juno because Juno's mom isn't in the picture. And she even she tells the ultrasound technician.
Yes.
She goes off on the ultrasound technician and stands up for Juno. And she's actually really mean. And Juno's like, oh, you're mean. I love it.
Because the ultrasound tech was making comments as to, oh, I'm glad, you know, that you're giving it up for adoption.
Yeah.
And that's when Bryn was like, what the hell's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, you should not be commenting on that.
Not at all.
They should tell you that in school. When you go to the ultrasound technician school, you do not make judgments on the pregnant person. No. Because you don't know. And that's another interesting thing about the scenario that Juno's in is just because she's pregnant now, she's become hypersexualized and everyone thinks she's loose.
Correct.
And there's this, idea about the kind of girl that gets pregnant at 16. And it's not always that. Like, it really only does take one time. I mean, you're more likely if you're doing it all over the place, but it still could happen to anyone.
When her dad says, I thought you were the kind of girl who knew when to say when, and she replies with, I'm not sure what kind of girl I am. The stepmom, she's like, yeah, kids get bored and they have sex. That's what they do.
Exactly.
So it's not that weird that you're right. It just they only did it once in a chair. Magnificent.
She does say Bleeker's body is magnificent.
Yeah.
And
he's really good in chair.
Yeah.
They have a really sweet relationship where they don't seem like boyfriend and girlfriend, more like best friends. Mm-hmm. But they realize that they are in love. Yeah. And life goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a weird dynamic that they have now, like having had a kid together and given it up and now just starting to date, But it is cute. And she calls him, Bleeker is absolutely boss at being a boyfriend.
I love it. The scene in the hospital after the whole giving birth scene, I thought they did a really good job with that. Mm-hmm. And when Bleeker finally gets there and he crawls in next to her and just holds her, that seemed really natural. Like, she has gone through some major trauma. And that's going to take a while. But yeah, I mean, he did the right thing. She didn't want to talk. She just needed to release.
Yeah.
Get over that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta, so crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine going through all of that for a child and she doesn't seem to really have too much attachment to the baby, which is good, but it still would be hard.
Yeah.
I don't think you can even understand it unless you've given birth to know what that's like. Even if you know you can't take care of it, or it would be better with someone else, and you're making someone else happy. Like it's your DNA.
You're left with a void. I think.
And her dad at one point when they're in the hospital says, "Someday you'll be back here, and it'll be for better circumstances or something like that."
On your own terms.
On your own terms. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was sweet.
It was. And he had tears in his eyes, too. And he didn't punch Bleeker in the crotch. What did he say? I'm going to punch him in the wiener.
I can't remember which parent says it. Probably Bren. She's like, well, it wasn't his idea.
Oh, right.
They're like, it was Juno's.
And when he says... I know you weren't really bored that day because there was a lot on TV and Blair Witch Project was just about to come on Stars, so...
Yeah, no, she was curious, like we all are at that age. And she's like, hey, this is a safe person that I can have this experience with. And then they weren't safe enough. I
mean, especially if you're not, quote, sexually active.
Right. What does that even mean?
I love that. I never had thought of it before as in, like, do you at some point deactivate?
Yeah. Yeah, how long of a stretch of a dry spell do you have to be deactivated?
I'll let you know.
So we talked a little bit about the music. The soundtrack is very cutesy. Thought that was very intentional to Juno's like childness. This very, very serious topic. And then this very silly music over top of it.
That was her idea. He, Elliot, suggested that Juno would probably listen to music such as the Moldy Peaches. I actually had the soundtrack when it first came out. And it's real cute. But you're right. It does point to her youngness.
I have a fun fact about the director. So Diablo Cody, I think she won an Oscar for this. That can't be her real name, right? Because who would name their child Diablo? It's not. The reason that she changed it is because she started gaining fame as a blog about being a stripper, and she didn't want people to know it was her. So she changed her name to Diablo Cody for the blog, and then she became like famous through that. And so she kept the name because it had recognition.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That is very cool.
I had no idea. I figured it was some kind of nickname. Somebody out there probably has named their kid Diablo. But
I would.
A little baby girl Diablo.
Okay, I also wanted to read a little bit from Elliot's memoir.
Okay.
And it's called Page Boy, so I really want to read this. This excerpt is great. I'd always been told I was gay, made fun of for it. I felt comfortable in environments with queer women, but something in me knew I was transgender. It was something I had always known but didn't have the words for, wouldn't permit myself to embrace. At a party, he says, my friend Star and I sat together in an oversized chair, spoke about gender, and I shared the degree of my discomfort. How even when I was playing a role, I couldn't wear feminine clothes anymore. How I always struggled in the summer when layers were not an option, and the presence of my breasts under my t-shirt forced me to incessantly crane my neck, sneaking quick peeks down. I would pull on my shirt, my posture folded. Isn't that sad?
That is sad.
And again, it's sad that it has to come after a period of realizing you're not happy for so many years, and then to finally unravel what's going on in your brain. I can't wait for that to happen to me.
Are you announcing something, Bridget?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just unraveling my brain about other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, like I said, that she didn't have the words for it. It was not that well known then, and now it's very visible, and that's why there's a lot of people in their like 60s now that are transitioning, because they're like, oh, I can, this is what was wrong with me my whole life. I had always felt weird,
right, and
now I have the words. Or same thing with being gay. If you were growing up somewhere where they just didn't talk about it, you might not even know what it is.
Right.
You have no examples of it. There's this comedian, Fortune Feimster. Do you know who that is?
I love her.
She talks about growing up in like South Carolina, and she just didn't know what being gay was. And she didn't have an example for it until she saw something on like TV, and she goes, wait, that's a thing you can be? I think I'm that. And she just didn't have a clue. So that's why when people say that representation matters, those are the reasons that it matters.
You are correct. Well put. Did we do it?
I think we did it.
We flicked some bees.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Do 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 do.